So we are about a week away from wheat harvest, and the combine needs a full service. It needs washed up, it needs some of the sensors and all that calibrated for the new yield monitoring system we put back in February. So we need to get that combine out and get some work done to it. Today I'm doing some odd jobs. We're taking a day off of fencing because Dad needs to go run and get some more posts, but he's not going to do that until Monday. So right now it's Friday and I am going to work on the combine today. I've also got a few other odd jobs to do, but the combine needs a complete service. And we fired it up in the shed the other afternoon when the ag tech guy was here doing some stuff. We fired it up in the shed and backed it out, and it blew a hose and emptied out all the hydraulic fluid in the system by the time it was out in the driveway. There's still some oil up around in there, but there are large hoses on top of the pump and those blew. It created quite a mess in a hurry. So we're gonna put the shields back on so we're not washing anything with the separator, and then we're just going to scrub it real quick so it looks pretty. We've already rinsed off most of the hydraulic fluid, and then we will drop the header, pull it in the shop, and start changing out the oils. Well, I got her all washed up, and I am now going to drop the header and then pick up the pressure washer so I have a straight shot to get the combine into the shop. And then I will talk to you guys when we get in there, and we will hopefully start changing out all the fluids. Well guys, it's in the shop. It's still leaking water everywhere from pulling it in and having fluids in places. Now that it's on level ground, it's all running out. But I'm going to get started changing the fluids on it. We got to change the engine oil, the PTO oil, the hydraulic fluid we're not going to change, but we got to change the final drives and the transmission. So we've got quite a few things to change on it. So I'm going to get a bunch of 5-gallon buckets, get the oil barrels out, and get started. These hoses that come down here are the oil drains, and we're going to place the bucket underneath the oil drain and then go up top and open the oil valve to drain all the oil out. So here we go. So down in here is the oil drain. It's got a little valve on there, and you got to push in. And it's open. You got to pull it up and switch it open. Now we're going to go down and watch her drain. Draining the combine oil always takes a while, but we got to leave it like this. I could have opened it up, like left the combine running a little bit longer. I just forgot about it until now. So anyways, it might take a little bit to come out, but it will. We've got 22 quarts that is going to be with the filter change. So I'm going to go ahead, go up there, take a pan up there and take the filter off. So one of the other things that we need to do to our combine is, if you guys remember, a while back we put a new yield monitor on here, and our old one had photo eyes in the side of the grain elevator. Well, we now have to plug those holes if we don't want grain spilling everywhere. So I'm gonna cut out some pieces of metal and weld over those big holes, and hopefully put some rivets right through here because we have some clearance on the inside, and get those holes closed off as well. Same thing on the back. We've got the big hole and then a bunch of holes right there. Well, I've got the rivets all done on both sides, and after lunch I'm going to go out and cut those plates and weld those on, and then I will hopefully be able to get the, Dad had to run and get a filter. We did not have a filter for the combine, so he's got to go run and get that, and then hopefully we'll have oil back in it by the time the ag tech guy gets here to calibrate some stuff with the yield monitoring and auto steer. Well, Dad just got back with the filter, and now I'm going to fill it up with 2 quarts of oil, put it on, and then I am going to put 20 quarts of oil into the motor, and it will be good to go. I just finished the oil up. I took everything down off the top here. I'll just double check it to be sure. Yep. And the oil level is good. Okay, so now I'm going to back the combine outside and leave it out there, and I'm gonna head over to John's and hopefully cut out some pieces of metal to put on the side of the grain elevator. Well, I cut a couple little metal plates here, and I'm gonna weld those over those holes. Once the combine's back in the shop, I gotta grind off the little edge where I cut just to make it a little bit prettier. So the ag tech guy and I were outside and running the combine. We ended up turning on the separator, and Dad had not tightened the hydraulic hose that he fixed the other day, and it ended up emptying all the oil out again. So we've got to fill that thing back up and pressure wash out in front of the motor and on the rotor belts and all that, so we can get that functioning again. Paul's out there again running calibration on the combine. We've got it all wound up and it's doing basically dry load calibration. I got the filter changed. I filled it back up with oil in the hydraulic reservoir, and there's still oil everywhere. And as soon as he's done, I'm going to wash it down, and then I'm going to have to wait until it dries until I can continue on servicing it. Kind of a bummer, but it's just what happened. But funny thing is, it was actually Dad that forgot to tighten the hose, and oil everywhere. So, as always, blame Dad. Well guys, we are done for the year with our planter, so we are going to back it in the shed right now and unhook it from the Magnum. So basically the combine had been in here ever since late winter, and now we're going to back the planter in. Okay guys, it is the next morning and I am back out here in the shop. So right now I am draining the hydraulic fluid out of the PTO gear case. I need to close that valve real quick and then I will go up and fill it with 14 quarts. I have to change the rotor gear case, the final drives, the transmission, and I think there's a couple other gear cases that I need to change as well. So I'm gonna get started and hopefully get this done pretty soon, and before it rains, get the combine over to John's. It'd help if I plugged the air hose in though, that would. That is done. Now, we're gonna leave that hose up here and we're gonna try and drain the rotor gear case. Okay, so I got the oil changed in the rotor gear house, but that was really hard to show because of where it is located and I had to crawl down inside here. Now we need to change the oil in the chopper feeder box. So I need to figure out how I'm supposed to get this lid off, if that's possible. I don't know if it is or not. Just scrape all this dirt off. Looks like it needs a good old 1/2 inch wrench. See if I get this guess right. And yeah, my light's about ready to run out of battery. I was wrong, needs a 9/16. Got that plug out. Huh. Well, I'm stumped as to how to do this. That wrench is too small for that one. Well, I'm gonna go pull the drain plug and then I'll figure out how I'm gonna fill it. So I figured out how to get this plug out. Just got to turn the base out because it's a little breather or something. And there. Should be able to get it by hand now. Like that. Bingo. Now we can fill it up. So we're going to reset our meter. Should take 3.3 quarts. It's coming out early. Should take more than that. Nope, she's full. Put this plug in and call it good. Okay, that is done. I'm going to grab a grease gun, do a couple grease zerks. Okay, so now I have the oil changed and everything done up top. now what we have left to do are the 2 final drives down here. And then we've also got to change out the oil in the transmission. Once that is done, I'm gonna back it outside, throw the shields on it, put the corn head back on, and drive it over to John's. So I don't have that much left to do. Hopefully I'll be done by lunch, but I need to get to changing that oil out. Okay, I've got the transmission and final drive oil changed now. Dad is going around working on greasing it up. It just rained again, so it's gonna be a little while till he can take it over the other place. Before, you know, it's got to dry out. The roads have got to dry out so we don't get it all dirty. Hopefully he can get it over there pretty soon, so in case there is a mouse or 2 living in the combine, they don't end up in the shop. Not a good deal. So with that being said, guys, that is all for today's video. Thanks for watching, and I will see y'all next time.